Hello, and welcome to this Sage 300 training video. Today's topic is going to be the inventory control module and items. So we're going to begin by going to inventory control, items and price lists, items. This is our primary item setup screen. Browsing to the first item in our sample company, we see that we have an item number, and this can be set up to be structured or unstructured, a description, a structure code which defines how this item number is set up, an item category, an account set, a default price list, commodity number, and some other values like weight and the weight unit of measure, and an alternate item number, and description. Now the category and the account set define certain GL codes. We can look those up by going to IC Item Setup, Categories, and Account Sets. So we can see here that the category on this one is A1. That defines these income statement accounts. Whereas the account set predominantly sets the various balance sheet accounts, although there are some income statement related accounts as well on here. The account set also defines what the item's costing method is. In Sage, we have moving average, FIFO, LIFO, standard cost, most recent cost, user specified, serial, and lot. Within the IC item setup, there's also things like, is this a stock item? Should this item be allowed in the web store? And is the item sellable? Speaking of serials and lots, those are set here. If we go to an item that is lot controlled, when we see that the item is lot controlled, the lot number is checked and cannot then be unchecked. It opens up a tab where we define the lot number, and this is done in the setup, what the next lot number is in sequence, and we can add some things on there like days to expire, days on quarantine, automatically put on warranty or contract. Serial numbers will act very similar to the format of lot numbers. We can also declare the item kitting. If we do a kit, then we need to establish the components of the kit in the kit screen, and the account set needs to have a costing method of user specified. In addition to the item screen, there is a units of measure screen. Every item must have a unit of measure that is set to be the stocking unit of measure. But if we go to another item, we can see where we have the stocking unit of measure set to an each, and then alternate units of measure based on their case or crate or other factors. Sage will automatically do the conversion in different transactions when they are used and convert them and store the resulting quantity in the stocking unit of measure. So for instance, if you create a purchase order with 4 cases, it will do the math of 24 times 4 eaches into the inventory. There is a taxes tab. This can be utilized when the product has different tax treatment in different jurisdictions. So for instance, if it is taxable in one state and not taxable in another, you can set that up here in the taxes tab. And there's an optionals field tab. So if you have optional fields, or some people call them a user-defined field, set up for the item, that can be put here. These are often used in reporting or in different customizations throughout the system. Items can be set up directly in the item master screen. However, there is also a wizard that you can use, and that's the item wizard here again in ICEE Items and Price Lists. And this wizard is going to walk you through all the various things that you might need to set up for a particular item. You can also use it to maintain an item. So let's look at our fluorescent desk lamp at the various things that have been set up for it through the item wizard. So we see on the first screen, we see some of the same fields that we looked at on the item master, because this is going to then set or update the item master. Again, we see a few more of those items, and we see our units of measure set down here. And we see our taxability and our optional fields. The nice thing with the item wizard is that it walks you through all the different steps that you might need to do when setting up an item in Sage 300. Now, our next screen is the first one we haven't really looked at yet here when it comes to setting up an item. So here we can see we can set up our standard, our most recent, and our last cost. This setup also has a custom one called landed, so you could set that up as well. And you can see the different locations that it could possibly be included in. And you can also check the box automatically include all locations. This is useful if you want to say certain items cannot be used in particular locations, and then the allowed flag can be set to no. And you can look over here, and here's all the various costs that have been set up over time for these items. The next screen is a vendor detail screen. So we can say on a particular item, who is our primary vendor? Do they have a specific number that they would like us to refer to when ordering from them? And this number can be different than the item number that you have for it in your system. So for instance, this particular vendor could call the item 1030-A1. Very similar to ours, but just a little bit different. And then we could say, hey, we're going to, the unit of measure might be the same, but the unit of measure might be different. Maybe they have a specific item number for a carton or a case that you want to refer to. And then you can put in the cost. And we'll just say for fun today that it's $5. Our next screen is our pricing screen. So this sets up the price list. So you would already have your price list codes in here. And then you can set up your item prices, your base price, and any sales price and other values here on the list. Contract pricing, if you have any contract pricing, that can be set up here. And here we have a contract price for one of our customers, Mr. Ronald Black. We have a manufacturer's item number. This is particularly useful if you use a barcoding system, because the barcode number for a particular item can be put in here. And you can have a couple different barcodes set up for each item. And you can have barcodes that represent different units of measure in this screen. Similar to the vendor number screen, we have a customer number screen. So if a customer happens to have their own item number that refers to maybe a particular unit of measure, that can be set up in this screen. If you want to track reorder quantities, you can do that here. And then that completes the item wizard. So as you can see, we do have a couple different ways to maintain your items and set up an item in Sage 300. A nice little wizard that will take you through all the steps, or you can just do a very simple setup in the primary item screen, and then at a later date and time, set up some of the other functions as needed. We hope this helps, and we hope you learned something today. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.